Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina returns home from Germany after attending Munich Security Conference. Prime Minister's invitation to Munich Security Conference upholds Bangladesh's importance in international arena, says al-Qadir. Target of reducing extreme poverty by 2025 under 8th five-year plan has already been achieved, says Law Minister in Jatiya Sanshad. Report of Reporters Without Border on press freedom in Bangladesh is incorrect, biased and unacceptable, says Muhammad Ali Arafat. Preparations completed to observe Shohid Day and International Mother Language Day on February 21st. No specific security threats centering Mother Language Day, says DMP Commissioner. 64 people killed in tribal violence in northern highlands of Papua New Guinea. And strikers beat Kumilla Victorians by 12 runs in BPL cricket in Chattogram. Assalamu alaikum. This is Simran Rashid welcoming to news at 10. You have just heard the headlines. Now on to the details.
বাংলার স্বাধীনতা রক্ষা হয়েছে, বাংলার লোক স্বাধীন হয়েছে, বাংলার পতাকায় দুনিয়া ওড়ে, বাংলা জাতিসংঘের সদস্য, বাংলা যৌথপক্ষের সদস্য, বাংলা কমনওয়েলথের সদস্য, বাংলা ইসলামিক সামিটের সদস্য। বাংলাদেশ দুনিয়ায় এসছে, বাংলাদেশ থাকবে, কেউ একে ধ্বংস করতে পারবেন না।
Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina returned home, wrapping up her three-day official visit to Germany to attend Munich Security Conference 2024. A flight of the Biman Bangladesh Airlines carrying the Premier and her entourage members landed at the Hazrat Shahjalal International Airport, Dhaka at 11 a.m. this morning. Earlier, the flight departed from München Franz Joseph Strauss Airport, München, Germany, around 9:08 p.m. local time yesterday. The Premier reached Munich on February 15th evening, marking her first official visit since assuming office after winning the 12th parliamentary election. During her stay in Munich, Sheikh Hasina attended the opening ceremony of the Munich Security Conference and held meetings with global leaders on the sidelines of the conference. She also addressed a panel discussion titled From Pocket to Planet, Scaling Up Climate Finance at the Munich Security Conference, where she placed 6 proposals. The fugitive killers of father of the nation Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman will be brought to the country and the verdict will be executed. Foreign Minister Dr. Hassan Mahmood Saddis will reply to a question during the question-answer session in the Parliament today. The House resumed its sitting with Speaker Dr. Shirin Sharmin Chaudhry in the chair. Responding to a question, the Foreign Minister said, Bangladesh has maintained diplomatic relations with other countries of the world through 81 embassies. He said there are 9,370 Bangladeshis in jails abroad. Law, Justice and Parliamentary Affairs Minister Anisul Haq, on behalf of the Planning Minister, informed the Parliament that the target of reducing extreme poverty by 2025 as per the 8th five-year plan has already been achieved. He said the government's mid- and long-term multidimensional plans are underway to reduce the gap between rich and poor. Home Minister Asaduzzaman Khan told the Parliament that 1,20,287 illegal drug smugglers were brought under the law in 97,241 cases across the country last year. Later, a general discussion was held on Thanksgiving motion on the President's speech. The sitting of the House will resume in the afternoon on 22nd February. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's invitation to do the Munich Security Conference in Germany and her speech there upheld Bangladesh's importance in the international arena, said Awami League General Secretary al-Qadir. He said this at a news conference at Awami League President's office at Dhanmondi in the capital today.
বাংলাদেশে একটা সাধারণ নির্বাচন অনুষ্ঠিত হয়েছে। এই নির্বাচন নিয়ে সমালোচনা মুখরও ছিল বহির্বিশ্বের একটা অংশ। তারপরও আজকের এই সংকটে সিকিউরিটির মতো সেন্সিটিভ ইস্যুতে বাংলাদেশের প্রধানমন্ত্রীকে নিমন্ত্রণ করা এবং গুরুত্বপূর্ণ একটা বক্তব্যের অংশীদার করা, এটা বাংলাদেশের গুরুত্বকে তুলে ধরে। বাংলাদেশের গুরুত্ব কতটা গুরুত্ব আজকের বিশ্বে সে পরিচয়টা বহন করে। সেখানে সিকিউরিটি ইস্যু নিয়ে বলতে গিয়ে প্রধানমন্ত্রী যেমন যুদ্ধবন্ধ বিষয়ে জেলেনস্কির সঙ্গে কথা বলতে গিয়ে যুদ্ধের বিরুদ্ধে শান্তির পক্ষে তিনি জোরালো বক্তব্য রাখেন এবং সবচেয়ে জোরালো বক্তব্যটি রাখেন। এটা বোধহয় কারো ইউরোপীয় অন্য কোন নেতা এই দুঃসাহস দেখাতে পারেননি যে স্টপ জেনোসাইড ইন গাজা।
Obad al-Qadir, also Road Transport and Bridges Minister, said, "At the moment, BNP has no ground to go for movements. Leaders of BNP are talking deliriously over the Great Liberation War," he added.
অথবা বিবেকবান কোন রাজনীতিকের উক্তি এটা হতে পারে না। এটা হচ্ছে পাগলের অসংলগ্ন প্রলাপোক্তি। বিএনপির রাজনীতিতে মিথ্যাচার চিরজীবনই বিরোধী দলের এখন আর কিছু নেই। তার সাথে জনগণ নেই, তাদের কর্মীরাও হতাশ। এখন কিছু না কিছু বলে তারা একটা বিরোধী দল, সেটা কর্মীদের কাছে, পাবলিকের কাছে একটু জানান দেওয়া দরকার। সেজন্য কথামালা চাতুরি ছাড়া তাদের কাছে বলার মতো আর কিছু।
Awami League Organizing Secretaries B.M. Mojammel Haq, S.M. Kamal Hussain, Mirza Azam, Shujit Roy Nondi, Office Secretary Barrister Biplab Borua, Publicity and Publication Secretary Abdus Shubhan Golap, among others, were present at the press conference. The Election Commission today declared all the nomination papers submitted for the 50 reserved women's seats in the 12th National Parliament as valid. Returning Officer Munir Zaman Talukdar made the announcement after scrutiny in presence of the candidates at the election building at Agargaon and the capital. According to the election schedule, the last date for withdrawal of nomination papers is the 25th of February and the polling date is the 14th of March. State Minister for Information and Broadcasting Muhammad Ali Arafat said that the report of the Reporters Without Borders on press freedom in Bangladesh is untrue, biased and unacceptable. He said this at a press conference at the Secretariat today.
সালের ফেব্রুয়ারি পর্যন্ত যে র্যাঙ্কিংটি আছে সেখানে দেখাচ্ছে 180 জনের মধ্যে 163। তো এটি নিয়ে বাংলাদেশের গণমাধ্যম সংশ্লিষ্ট অংশীজন এবং সাধারণ জনগণের মধ্যে হতাশা আছে। আমি মনে করি অনেকে আমি দেখেছি এটা নিয়ে হতাশা ব্যক্ত করতে, কারণ কেউ মনে করেন না যে এটা সঠিক। ওয়েবসাইটে ঘেটে আমরা যেটা দেখলাম যে অনেক ভুল, অর্ধসত্য, অপর্যাপ্ত তথ্যের উপর ভিত্তি করে এই বিশ্ব গণমাধ্যম সূচকটি তারা তৈরি করেছে। অন্য দেশের ক্ষেত্রে বলতে পারবো না, বাংলাদেশের ক্ষেত্রে এই বিষয়টি হয়েছে। আমরা মনে করি যে নিরপেক্ষ সাংবাদিকতার জন্য এবং বর্তমান সরকারের যে অব্যাহত উদ্যোগ আছে সেটিকে অস্বীকার করা হয়েছে এখানে। দেশের গণমাধ্যম ও সাংবাদিকতার অবাধ স্বাধীনতার যে প্রকৃত চিত্রের বিপরীতে আরএসএফ এর মূল্যায়ন যেটি ওখানে দেখা যাচ্ছে সেটি আমাদের কাছে অগ্রহণযোগ্য। আমরা মনে করি এটি পক্ষপাতদুষ্ট এবং সত্যের বিচ্যুতি। এই ভুলগুলোকে ধরিয়ে দিতে চাই, পুনর্মূল্যায়নের আবেদন করতে চাই। একই সাথে সত্যিকার অর্থে যদি কোনো চ্যালেঞ্জ থাকে, যেগুলো অবশ্যই কিছু না কিছু আছে, সেগুলোকেও আমরা অ্যাড্রেস করতে চাই। আমরা চাই যে তারা বস্তুনিষ্ঠ এবং তথ্য উপাত্তের ভিত্তিতে এই পুনর্মূল্যায়ন করবে এবং বাংলাদেশের অবস্থানটি তারা নির্ধারণ করবেন।
The cover unveiling ceremony of Red Alert, the first book on non-communicable diseases in Bangladesh, was held at a city hotel today. The book is a joint study of Canadian University of Bangladesh and University of Manitoba. Addressing the function as chief guest, State Minister for Information Broadcasting Muhammad Ali Arafat said that the book titled Red Alert will be a unique milestone in the area of research. The function was also addressed by founder of Canadian University of Bangladesh and chairman of the Board of Trustees, Dr. Chaudhry Nafis Sarafat, presided over the function, while former Health Minister Jahid Malik, Professor of University of Maryland, USA, Dr. Rita Colwell, and Acting Vice Chancellor of Canadian University, Professor Giyas U. Ahsan. The Dhaka University Authority have completed preparations to observe the International Mother Language Day on February 21st. Vice Chancellor of the University, Professor Dr. A.S.M. Maksud Kamal, said this at a press conference in the campus today. He said that the President and Prime Minister will pay homage at the Central Shohid Minar in early hours of February 21st. Later, people from all walks of life will be allowed to pay tributes to the heroes of the language movement. The Vice Chancellor also talked about entry and exit routes centering the Central Shohid Minar. Dhaka Metropolitan Police Commissioner Habibur Rahman said there is no specific security threat centering the observance of Shohid Day and International Mother Language Day on 21st of February. He said this while talking to reporters after witnessing security measures at Central Shohid Minar in Dhaka this morning. The DMP chief also said movement of vehicles will remain restricted on some roads marking 21st February.
অনুষ্ঠান উপলক্ষে ঢাকা মেট্রোপলিটন পুলিশের পক্ষ থেকে ব্যাপক নিরাপত্তা পরিকল্পনা গ্রহণ করা হয়েছে। শহীদ মিনারের সার্বিক ব্যবস্থাপনায় থাকবেন ঢাকা বিশ্ববিদ্যালয় কর্তৃপক্ষ। তার সাথে সাথে যে নিরাপত্তা কোঅর্ডিনেশন সেটি ঢাকা মেট্রোপলিটন পুলিশের পক্ষ থেকে বহুমুখী ব্যবস্থা গ্রহণ করা হয়েছে। 4 স্তরের নিরাপত্তা ব্যবস্থা গ্রহণ করা হয়েছে। মাননীয় প্রধানমন্ত্রী, মহামান্য রাষ্ট্রপতি তারা যখন এখানে থাকবেন রাত 12:01 থেকে 12:30 পর্যন্ত একটি পর্ব এবং 12:30টার পর থেকে সাধারণ মানুষের জন্য খুলে দেওয়া হবে।
Now, international news. At least 64 people have died in an ambush in Papua New Guinea's remote highlands region. National Police spokesman said that the victims were shot dead during a tribal dispute in the Enga province over the weekend. The highlands area has long struggled with violence, but these killings are believed to be the worst in years. An influx of illegal firearms have made clashes more deadly and fueled a cycle of violence. Police started collecting bodies at the scene near the town of Wabag, roughly 600 kilometers northwest of the capital port Moresby. Escalating tribal conflict, often over the distribution of land and wealth, led to a 3-month lockdown in Enga last July, during which police imposed a curfew and travel restrictions. In August last year, the violence made international headlines after graphic footage involving 3 dead men circulated online. Israeli War Cabinet member Benny Gantz has warned that unless Hamas frees all hostages held in Gaza by 10th March, an offensive will be launched in Rafah. It is the first time Israel has said when its troops might enter Gaza's overcrowded southern city. Global opposition is growing to such an attack in Rafah, where some 1.5 million Palestinians are sheltering. Earlier, the UN Public Health Agency said a key Gaza hospital has ceased to function following an Israeli raid. The World Health Organization, WHO, said it had not been allowed to enter Nasser Hospital in Khan Yunis, north of Rafah, to assess the situation. The Israeli Defense Forces entered the complex on Thursday, saying intelligence indicated hostages taken by Hamas were being held there. The IDF has described its operation in Nasser as precise and limited, accusing Hamas of cynically using hospitals for terror. Meanwhile, footage verified by Al Jazeera shows hundreds of Palestinians in Gaza City rushing towards 8 trucks before fleeing after Israeli forces opened fire at them. Addressing the International Court of Justice (ICJ), representatives for Palestine have called for an end to the occupation of Palestinian territories and the system of apartheid enforced by Israel. Palestinian Foreign Minister Riyad al-Maliki and Palestine's United Nations envoy Riyad Mansour, along with several academic and legal experts, represented Palestine at the hearings that began in The Hague on Monday and will last through February 26th. Separate from the genocide case by South Africa, the case against Israel for its ongoing deadly war in Gaza is to determine the legal consequences of Israel's decades-long occupation of Palestinian territories. The Russian flag has been raised in several parts of the eastern town of Avdiivka in Donetsk, hours after Ukrainian forces beat a hasty retreat from the ruins of a town they've been defending for a decade. But Ukraine's army is under pressure at several other points along the front line that meanders for some 1,000 kilometers from the border with Russia in the north to the Black Sea. The Russian military may have sensed a window of vulnerability in its adversary. Ukraine's better units are exhausted after 2 years of combat. There is a new commander-in-chief, Oleksiy, and Ukrainian troops are short of shells and vulnerable to relentless airstrikes. The widow of Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny vows to continue fight for a free Russia as she meets European ministers in Brussels today. Yulia Navalnaya accused Russian President Vladimir Putin of killing her husband in the remote prison and vowed to punish him and other alleged perpetrators. She also slammed the authorities, saying they were refusing to hand over the body to Navalny's mother to cover up his alleged killing. Meanwhile, prison authorities said that they suffered sudden death syndrome at a remote Arctic prison on Friday, but his allies believe that he was murdered on the borders of President Yunus. Protests and vigils have been held near Russian embassies in many countries, and hundreds of people have been detained in Russia and warnings not to rally. Country Director of United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization UNESCO Bangladesh, Dr. Susan Weiss, paid a courtesy call on State Minister for Post, Telecommunication and Information Technology, Junaid Ahmed Polok, at his ICT Tower office in the capital's Agargaon today. Later, speaking to journalists at a view exchange meeting, the state minister said, UNESCO is interested to work with the ICT department on artificial intelligence AI. Country Director of UNESCO, Dr. Susan Weiss, said, UNESCO is prepared to provide all kinds of assistance to Bangladesh in its journey to build smart city, smart citizen, and smart leader. Now weather. Met Office in its weather forecast till 6 p.m. tomorrow said, weather may remain mainly dry with partly cloudy sky over the country. Night and day temperature may rise by 1 to 2 degrees Celsius over the country, said the Met Office. Now news on sports. Strikers defeated Kumila Victorians by 12 runs in the first match of the day of BPL cricket in Chattogram today. Batting first, Sylhet Strikers got a fighting score of 177 runs in 20 overs for 5 wickets with the help of Benny Howell's stormy 62 runs off 31 balls. In reply, Kumila Victorians managed to score 165 runs for 6 in their stipulated 20 overs. To end the bulletin, headlines once again. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina returns home from Germany after attending Munich Security Conference. Prime Minister's invitation to Munich Security Conference upholds Bangladesh's importance in international arena, says al-aqsa. Target of reducing extreme poverty by 2025 under 8th five-year plan has already been achieved, says Law Minister in Jatiya সংসদ. Report of Reporters Without Border on press freedom in Bangladesh is incorrect, biased and unacceptable, says Muhammad Ali Arafat. Preparations completed to observe Shohid Day and International Mother Language Day on February 21st. The specific security threat centering Mother Language Day, says DMP Commissioner. 64 people killed in tribal violence in northern highlands of Papua New Guinea. And Sylhet strikers beat Kumila Victorians by 12 runs in BPL cricket in Chattogram. That's all from today for the newsroom, and we invite you to watch our 11:30 news. Thank you. Khuda Hafiz.